Welcome to the 2021 Client Appreciation Challenge, where together we will inspire, encourage, and equip each other to show gratitude to our most important assets and allies, our clients. Each day of the challenge, you will discover powerful ways to say thank you, as we are led by some of the world's most creative and influential thought leaders. Now let's join our hosts, Larry Levine and Daryl Amy, as we challenge each other to show appreciation.
Oh,
hey, what's happening?
Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the 2021 Client Appreciation Challenge. Daryl, Amy here with Larry Levine. What's going on, Larry?
There's a lot going on, but hey, y'all have to like our color coordination. And by the way, this wasn't planned, but you like the gray on red. It's kind of cool.
That's right. It's fun. Hey, we're wearing this Selling from the Heart swag. We're having a great time today. Looks like George Henderson is back in the house, and you're absolutely right, George. Angel Ribo is going to be dropping some nuggets and inspiration. You're just going to have a great time. Jill's in the house today, and we got Tracy back. Gratitude is an attitude of platitudes, so keep dedicated, dude. Tracy,
love that.
That's impressive. Jerry, welcome back. Tegmeyer's in the house. We got a great crew here today. We're going to have a fantastic time. If you don't know Angel Ribo, I can't wait
for you
to get to know him. You really are. Get ready to be inspired, to take some notes. And this is going to be so much fun. We're glad you're here, Tara. And I love the community that is forming around this movement of gratitude, Larry. It's so exciting. It's been fun interacting with people, talking with different folks throughout the day inside the LinkedIn group, and all the things that are going on. It's really a movement of gratitude and authenticity that's happening inside a sales profession that desperately needs it.
Yeah, desperately is a phenomenal word. And what I always like saying is, the movement that we're leading, the gratitude, the authenticity, to me, this bridges the gaps. It bridges the gaps that we believe are existing right now with a lot of relationships. Is gratitude, appreciation, thank you, authenticity, and selling from the heart is making a difference, Daryl.
That's right. That's right. It is Thursday, Jerry. And we've got Thursday means the VIP reception is tonight. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you've got the VIP package, we're all going to be hanging out, all of the participants and some of our presenters. It's going to be great. We'll have just kind of a virtual happy hour at 5 o'clock Eastern tonight. So we'd love for you to join us. And if you're not registered for the VIP, there's a link in there. Hey, you get a baseball hat, a little swag, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, a huge shout out to our friends at BombBomb for helping make this possible. We're all here. You're all here at no charge. And it's thanks to generous folks like BombBomb that have stepped up and said, you know what, we want to back this movement of authenticity. We're all in on it. So we want to give a huge shout out to BombBomb. As we start, I see Jackie Joy chimed in, and we got some great news for Jackie Joy. Yesterday, we put out the challenge for you to talk about a moment in sales where this was a little bit different than we thought we were going to do for the challenge, but the challenge was to talk about a moment in sales where you realized that it was in the best interest of your client or prospect to back off. And Jackie, boy, I got to say, and I know Jackie really well, and I will say that she models this. She works with integrity with her clients, and your stories, Larry, the story that Jackie told is very, very inspirational and I think instructive to all of us.
No, it is. And it plays off of one of the nuggets that Joy had dropped yesterday on us, as far as sometimes showing appreciation means we back away. we back away if it's not right. And what I appreciate about Jackie's video is she's formed a community. She's formed a community of like-minded professionals in her field. And when somebody comes to her for advice, if it's not the right fit, she lets them know up front and she points them in the right direction based on the circle of like-minded people that are in the same profession. So Jackie, you rock.
Yeah, you do. And so Jackie, congratulations. You're our winner today of the the challenge. You're going to be entered into our American Idol-like vote tomorrow for the with all of the it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. This is a blast, Larry, and one of the things that's my favorite thing every week is on Fridays. Friday at lunch is when we get together with the Selling from the Heart Insiders group, and this is a group of like-minded, or should I say like-hearted sales professionals that started during COVID when we were like, we got it, we need some encouragement. But it's morphed into this growing community of sales professionals from all over the world, multiple industries. And we've got a special guest here today from the Selling from the Heart Insiders group. Larry, let's bring Mike Limmer, our good friend, into the
Mike.
show. What's going on, Mike Limmer?
Mike Limmer,
hey
what's happening?
Awesome to be with you guys.
Hey, I don't know many other people that show appreciation more consistently and more generously than Mike Limmer. Would you agree, Larry?
Hands down, from the very first day I met him, and actually this goes back, Mike, a couple years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, almost 2 years ago. And from the first day I met Mike, we just formed a really great friendship. He's been a vital part in helping us grow the Selling from the Heart community. It's been a pleasure to work with him and some of his teammates as far as Selling from the Heart team reads. But as we get started real quick, and we're showing appreciation and gratitude towards our clients, can you just share real quick one of your favorite stories on how you show gratitude and appreciation?
Yeah, absolutely. But I would be remiss if I didn't at least take a moment to say thank you two gentlemen for all that you're doing.
Told you, Larry. He shows gratitude all the time.
Yeah. You gave me a platform, so here I go.
That's all good.
But I genuinely want to say thank you for what you are doing for the sales profession. You are elevating things to a whole new level, and the timing of all this is exceptional for all the changes that we're facing. So I wanted to say thank you for all that you're doing. And so Larry, Daryl, you took the words from my mouth, which is consistency, which is totally cool. And so what I have discovered is that the more consistent I practice gratitude on a daily basis, the better the results are often in the sales world. So for me, I'm looking for at least 3 very specific moments during the course of a year where I can show my appreciation to my clients. The one that's kind of built in for us is, and so I'm a big card sender. And so the one that's built in for all of us is daylight savings time. So that one time of the year where I get that extra hour, I like to take that 1 hour and give a quick thank you of show appreciation to my clients, saying thank you for the time that they give us.
I love it.
So speaking of that one time, I just got to say this because there's some common bonds. There's a lot of common bonds between Mike and myself, even through send out cards and so forth. Just in the last couple of days, I've gotten like half birthday year cards, right? So yesterday was May 19th. So it's 6 more months would be my birthday, which is November 19th. Hint, hint, everybody. But I got half year birthday cards.
Really?
Totally cool. They've been flooding the mailbox recently. I'm like,
that's brilliant.
What's this? It's you're halfway to your next birthday. I'm like, oh, well, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah. That's so good. Hey, Mike, any other words of wisdom or tips for folks in terms of what we can do to show appreciation?
Just always looking to kind of go a little bit next level. One of the fun stories really quick recently was for the people that I work with directly, I'm trying to dial into their family and friends and celebrating them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And probably one of the most impactful experiences I had was I sent a birthday card, simple, but I sent a birthday card to a client's wife with a birthday candle. And it was unexpected, of course, but it kind of came out of the John Ruhlin giftology. If anybody's read any of that. He's always kind of about that next level. And I mean, talk about elevating yourself to a different place. Obviously, that was completely unexpected. And people don't forget that, so it's not even just about the specific clients you work with, but recognizing the fun moments, the special moments in other people's lives that, that their family and their friends. That probably is one of the most. I get a thank you for a thank you for a thank you. It's a trifecta,
triple whammy. I love it, Mike. I'm gonna put you on the spot for just a moment. Should the people watching or listening in later, if they're in sales, join the Selling from the Heart Insiders group?
Yeah, I was, there's not enough time to share this story. Again, you gave me the platform, here I go. But last week after Angel was on,
this is a great story.
I shared that message with a colleague who then took that to a meeting. Literally, this was inside of an hour. And to make a long story short, the person they met with, because I had shared this message from Angel, completely changed the conversation that he was having for his meeting in a very positive way. So there's so much value. I end up with pages of notes every time we meet, and it's just had a huge impact on my whole mindset of how I approach the conversations that I'm having with the clients that I'm serving.
That's
so
awesome.
Good.
That's awesome. This is
so good, right, Jackie?
Yeah, hey, I was gonna say that's for Jackie Joy. So good.
Everyone, Mike, thank you so much for being such an inspiration and for joining us today. This has been totally cool. I so appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate all you're doing.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, and if you want to come hang out with us in the Insiders group, just come give it a try. Go to sellingfromtheheart.net/insiders and join us free for 30 days. And you're right. I take pages of notes every time. We get to hang out. We have every second week. We call it Up Close and Personal, where we just bring our friends in and we get to talk to them. And one of the friends that we've made along the way is a gentleman that if you were part of the last challenge, the 2021 Authentic Selling Challenge.
Cup of coffee, Daryl.
Yeah,
Wake
there
up.
you go. If you were part of the 2021 Authentic Selling Challenge, you know who kicked that off, and it's our good friend Dave Sanderson. And I am so happy to invite Dave here today for a cameo appearance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dave Sanderson. What's going on,
Dave?
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited. I just got back from Florida, so I'm doing this from a different location today. So in my house.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Dude, I appreciate you. You must have just got out of the pool.
I recently, yes, exactly right. I'm still coming down. I'm waterlogged right now, guys.
I understand.
Patty's got me going, man.
Well, I understand you're learning to swim in a whole new way. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I learned how to swim, as you read my last book, right? In 1967, 1968, where they taught kids to swim. Now I'm doing the Navy SEAL swim. I'm very honored to do that. They gave me Coach Patty, who's coached 5 Olympians, is coaching 3 other Olympians to be, and she's breaking me down, teaching me how to swim like an Olympian, which I am I'm back down to ground zero, man. Square one. And sometimes you got to be humbled, right? And you get humbled a lot. Sometimes you got to humble yourself. So this is a great experience for me, though. Great experience.
I'm proud of you. And it's so inspirational that I love how you said, you know what? You left the Hudson River last time. It wasn't on your terms. This time, you're going to leave the Hudson on your terms. And swimming across the Hudson River. Amazing.
Well, we're really excited. We're doing this for a very special reason, to commemorate the 20th anniversary of 9/11 for those folks who lost their lives. And then the SEAL Extortion 17 mission that lost so many Navy SEALs fighting for our freedom. So I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to give back to those who gave their lives and for our freedom. And second, to help those vets who came back from those missions who have now fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
So I've got a page out there if you want to check it out, go to my website. And it's just, I'm trying to raise just a few bucks so we can help somebody in need right now and thank them. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm doing it.
Good. What's that website, Dave?
If you just go to my Dave Sanderson Speaks website, go to the bottom of GI Go, click
Awesome.
on that. It'll take you straight to my page. And I've got a mission to raise a lot of money for these folks. So anybody who wants to donate, if you feel compelled, great. If you don't, just cheer me on August 7th, man. I'm out with a bunch of studs, studettes, something like that. You know,
that's great. Well, I can't think. I mean, what a powerful way to show gratitude. And I mean, wow. And I think this is so inspirational to all of us. And sincerely, thank you. And I want everybody listening in to go to DaveSandersonSpeaks.com. Let's help Dave out. Let's make a big impact here together. That would be incredible. Dave, we've got a good friend of yours that is joining us. In fact, we met Angel through you. So I think one of the best things that could happen right now is, why don't you introduce our friend Angel, and then we're going to set him loose to inspire us.
Well, he will inspire, and I'm so glad that you were able to make that acquaintance with Angel, because one of the things I've learned throughout my sales career and my business career, and when I had the opportunity to be with Tony for 10 plus years being head of security, is proximity is power. And one of the things he always taught me is put yourself around people who have walked their talk and they're inspirational. So I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of people over the last several years. And one of these people introduced me to Angel. And I didn't know Angel from Adam. But you know what? When you get that kind of a recommendation, you take it and you're going to find out. So I picked up the phone, and Angel and I had a conversation. Angel's based in Dallas. And so I said, Angel, I'm going to be coming to see Dallas here in a couple months. I would love to be my personal guest in one of my events. And Angel came. And that told me a lot about Angel. And he and I had some one-on-one time together, and I could feel from his heart, because Angel comes from an attitude of gratitude. We all talk about that. But, we start out with this. I mean, you can't have any fear in life if you have gratitude. And one of the things that I talk about now is grace is fueled by gratitude. And what is gratitude? Gratitude's, give you thanks to something bigger than yourself. And I can't think of a better role model than Angel. I call him the CEO whisperer. I mean, he taught me a few things about how interacting at the C level that's helped me dramatically. And not only in my sales career, but more importantly, my business career. Being able to interact with these folks, because they're people too. But they all, Angel comes to that heart of gratitude, of giving first, a servant leadership, giving first. And that's one of the things that hopefully Angel's going to share with you today, like he shared with me. So I'm very honored that you're going to have the opportunity to meet Angel. Take in what Angel's going to say. Remember, it comes from attitude of gratitude. And he starts with everything he talks about is giving first before you get. So without any further ado, I want to bring my good friend Angel on from Dallas. Angel, how you doing, man?
Very well, thank you. Great to be here. Obviously, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for your very nice words. So thank you for having me. And it's really been a blessing, as you said, for me, obviously, as well, has been a blessing to be able to be with you, to be around you, and to be permanently in touch, and actually to get to meet Daryl and Larry as well. So thank you so much. All right, so thank you very much for having me here, all of you. I have prepared something to share with you, and maybe for the sake of context, I just would like to say a little bit, summarize my bio, which is basically what I do. My brand is the CEO Confidant, and the reason why I do that is because for the last 20 plus years, I've helped more than 1,500 CEOs in 30 plus countries. I'm originally from Spain. You probably realize my accent is not from Texas, although I live here north of Dallas. And besides that, based on that, a few years ago, I left corporate America and I started my own business consulting firm. Today, we are 11 people in that firm. And what we do, basically, both corporate CEOs and established entrepreneurs, they hire us to bridge the gap globally for expansion and exposure as a way to accelerate the growth of their businesses. But what my heart and soul is on my foundation. It's called Wisdom for Kids. And what we do is we help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using their local resources. And I wanted to give to you this context because I think you're going to understand why I ended up what I did in my life. So I'm going to start right now with my presentation. Dave didn't know the title of my presentation for today. It's called The Miracle of 2009. And to be honest, I had no idea until I started to prepare this presentation that both of us had miracles in our lives in 2009. So I'm going to start it right now, okay? So the first thing, please expect not a few nuggets as Larry and Daryl said before, but also expect that it's going to be a little bit thought-provoking, okay? So I'm just warning you. It's going to be a little bit thought-provoking, and the best way to do that is actually to start asking you a few questions. And the first thing, I'm going to ask you 3 questions to know if you are ready to connect to CEOs, okay? I would like you to ask those questions and dwell on those questions. Number 1, who, what are you? Who, what are you? Number 2, are you able to read the energy levels of a sales call or of any call in general? And number 3, what are you currently doing to learn to be yourself on a daily basis? What are you currently doing to learn to be yourself on a daily basis? I would like to leave you with these questions, and I'll move on because I want to start right now with something which is really, I mean, we do a lot of things in our lives. You know, we achieve so many things. We have so many failures. We make so many great things. But at the end of the day, not very often we have the possibility to go inside of us and to learn who we really are. I had that possibility in 2019. I went to a place called the Philosophers Camp in the Adirondacks to really know what my mission was or what my mission had been in my life. And this is it. I am the unstoppable divine force that brings connection to the unconnected by uplifting their energy and empowering their awareness. I think that great salespeople do exactly that. And even if it took to me until 2018 to actually put it on paper, I think that for my entire life I had done this. Let me show this to you. So this was my journey, okay? This is my journey. So my journey started here. What is this? This is little Angel, 40 years old. I would like to bring your attention to 2 things in this picture. Number 1, the wheelbarrow, right? I was helping. This is the Ribo family ranch in the north of Spain. My family, part of my family is still there. What was I doing with that wheelbarrow with 4 years old? I was already helping my grandfather. I was there to serve since I was a kid. Number 2, the pacifier. Do you see the pacifier hanging on my chest? Do you see that? My father and my mother, my parents were really concerned because they thought I had an issue. I had some sort of developmental issue or something because with 4 years old, I was still carrying my pacifier to everywhere we went. But guess what I was doing? I was building leverage. I was building leverage to do what? Only 4 days after this picture, my father traded me in my pacifier for the most amazing electric train there was in the market at that place that my friend had. That's what I was doing. But I just wanted to start my conversation with this because this is me when I was a kid. Okay? And I think that definitely that defined a little bit who I was. How did I start to build my own confidence? Number 1, I started to learn French and English in 4th grade. At the end of high school, I was able to speak both languages fluently. Number 2, in college, I was the president of an international students association that allowed me to take internships, 3 internships in 3 different countries while I was in college. Number 3, my first full-time job after studying for so many years computer engineering. I hated computer engineering, I had to confess. So my first ever full-time job was actually international relations officer for the president of my own university. 4, my divorce. So I got married. That's a little bit traumatic. Now I can laugh about it. But in 1996, I actually married my sweetheart in college. Okay, I married her, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. Okay, in March 1997, I started to get phone calls at home, and I was surprised because every time I was taking the phone, someone was hanging up on me all the time. I found out that she was cheating on me. Probably I was also to blame, but regardless, the thing is that my whole life collapsed. My life was perfect up until then. Thank God we didn't have a child. We didn't have any kids. So only a few months later, I decided to take my first ever international job. It was with an American high-tech company in the UK. And eventually, and the 5th, I think that what really built my confidence was this. That company I started to work with in the UK eventually took me to Boston for a sales boot camp. And I asked the company, can I take holidays in Latin America after the boot camp? They said, yes. I spent a few days in Mexico and a few days in Cuba. And before I left, a friend of mine in the UK gave me a book. It's called The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. He's an American author. It's an amazing book. I was reading that book. And actually I finished reading that book one of the last days when I was in Cuba, finalizing my vacation there. I remember as if it was today. I was on the second floor of that villa in Varadero, that holiday resort in Cuba. When I turned the last page, this amazing, incredible, the first time ever felt for me or by me, rush goosebumps that show me something like, oh my God, all this energy, vibration, all these concepts that were in that book, you had to read that book to realize who you really are. You have to change, and you have to actually travel literally. That's what came to my mind. You have to travel, you have to move on. And only in a few months, I was already living in Mexico. That's how I started to build my confidence. What is my path to these 1,500 CEOs plus that I served, that I helped in my life? What was the path? I want to share this, obviously not to show off, just to tell you a few things here and there that I think that really crafted, shaped who I really are today, the CEO Confidant. Number one, my first ever sales job was inside sales with that company I told you I moved to in the UK, American high-tech company. We used to organize sales blitz, call blitz, which means that once a month, we will go early to the office. We will spend as many hours, probably around 12, 13 hours in the office, calling to as many accounts as possible, trying to make as many connections as possible. Brand new, pure hunting, okay? I think that thanks to taking massive action, and Tony Robbins speaks about massive action all the time, taking massive action definitely was one of the reasons why I was later in my career able to reach out and help and serve 1,500 CEOs. Number two, at that time, I started to use something called MEDDIC. A lot of you are already familiar with this. It's this checklist, this technique that you use to see how good of a control you have. I developed my own spreadsheet in which, by populating the spreadsheet with the opportunity, description, I was able to actually come up. This spreadsheet had a number attached to that particular opportunity. And that allowed me to measure what I was doing. I think that was extremely important for me, that everything that I was doing in the sales world, I was able to actually put the number and then prioritize my sales opportunities consistently. Number three, and I think that this is very important, and thank you for your nice words again to everybody before me today. The main goal for me in every single phone call I started to make in my sales career was to connect with that person on a personal level. And I'm going to tell you, when I was in the UK, I was an inside salesperson, and I was calling countries in Europe that I did not speak the language of. And I had to communicate with them with the basic translation of basic words. Thank you, please, these kind of things. And I was able to talk with them and actually move on in the sales cycle because they moved me. They would take this conversation somewhere else. So I think that prioritizing the connection at the personal level every single time you're on a sales call was not only crafted me, but is still very relevant. Number four, I have been able to consistently reach out to C-levels and CEOs because all the companies I work with, we were always selling products and services that were high premium. So only high-level people in the organizations were able to provide us with the right sign-off level. I think that was a great blessing for me in my life. I had to do that. I had no other option. The fifth is, in order to massively serve those CEOs, I was always working while I was in corporate America for so many years. I was always working with a hybrid sales model, which means not only did I have my direct sales force, but I also had a hybrid system, like in direct sales models. I had distribution channels, technology partners. I had all sorts of partnerships and distribution channels that were along with me. And I think those are the 5 secrets why I was able to reach consistently. So what was the role? Why gratitude was working? I was always asking myself, and I have to tell you that obviously I had this feeling that gratitude was always opening me, big doors, main doors. So when I came to the US, I was able to put more science into this, and I came to the US actually in 2010. But let me share this. So what is in the appreciation that sells? And I would like to ask you also a thought-provoking question. While you are in a sales call, while you are in a meeting, do you have a deliberate, continued attention to good, pleasant, hopeful, and appreciative thoughts? I'm going to ask you again. Do you have a deliberate, continued attention to good, pleasant, hopeful, and appreciative thoughts every single time you are in a sales call? Or are you more concerned and distracted by other stuff? I would like you to take this and to dwell on this as well. I'd like to ask you questions because those are going to move you. And the reason why I want to ask you these questions is because I always ask myself, do you know how your brain reacts to appreciation? Do you really know what's happening behind the scenes? Why gratitude works so well? So what I did is I bought this. I literally bought this when I came to the US in 2010. I think I bought it in 2016 or something, or 17. This is a brain sensing headband. Why did I do that? I didn't do it to understand gratitude. I did it because I wanted to learn how to meditate. And this comes with an app that tells you when you are actually reaching higher levels of consciousness. So one day, actually I said, okay, so I'm going to use deliberately gratitude on my meditations. Guess what? I discovered that I was going much faster and more consistently, systematically to higher levels of consciousness when using my headband and through the help of the app, when I was going to gratitude, and I was going to something else which is extremely important, which is heart coherence. So guess what? When you're in a gratitude state, you go to higher levels of consciousness and you are able to connect with other people on a completely different level. No wonder gratitude sells. I'm having goosebumps right now as I'm explaining that to you. All right, so move on. The miracle of 2009. Dave, I also had a miracle in 2009. And it wasn't like you in the middle of January. Mine was different. And this is what happened in 2009. Everybody that was in a sales role, in an executive role in 2009, what happened? What happened? Everything collapsed, right? Economy collapsed. 2008, 2009. I was still in Mexico at that time. And the ripple effect of the recession got to us a little bit later. But most of our business was actually with American subsidiaries. So we suffered. Boy, we suffered. Investments stopped, budgets frozen. I was directly responsible for 150 families. My sales performance and the sales performance of my team, 150 families, wealth and well-being depended on us. So this is what we did. We launched a campaign. At the beginning of the year, we launched a campaign. We called it the Gratitude Paycheck Campaign. It consisted of the following. Number one, the salespeople was not involved in the first stages of the campaign. What did we do? We put all the technical support of our teams and of our resellers teams in the forefront of the strategy. What were they doing? They were calling to the users of our technology systematically. And the conversation would go like this. Mr. Client, Mr. Technology User Client, we are extremely grateful that you have always been our client. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart. We know that things are difficult for you the same as they are for us. Number two, we would like to help you to improve your performance, and we would like to ask you to give an additional edge. We would like you to give additional performance to your company, you in your position as a user of our technology. And we would like you to visualize this. That's what our technical support team were telling to the users of the technology. If you could have right now your budget release and you could invest on that particular skill using our technology that would give you an additional performance edge to help your company, what would that be? And everybody answered that question. Every single user of our technology, thousands of clients in the entire Latin America, all of them answered. And our technical support teams gave away thousands and thousands of hours of free training, hours of training to these people that were using our technology. You know what happened at the end? You know what happened at the end of 2009? And that's the miracle for everybody listening. We were the only sales team in the world for that company, almost a $1 billion company, that we grew our business. And we grew, I will never forget that, by 8%. Is that good enough? Is that good enough for a gratitude strategy as a salesperson? I think it is. What did I learn by helping 1,500 CEOs throughout my career since the early 90s? What did I learn? I would like to share those lessons. Number one, CEOs are always in search of unconventional knowledge and wisdom all the time. Unconventional, something which is not found in the books, something that you only find somewhere else. When you go and you surround yourself by extraordinary people. You know what Elon Musk does? If you've ever heard that, he says that he never hires anybody by the degree. It doesn't matter where they studied. If they went to an Ivy League school, it doesn't matter. he always asks, or his team always asks, tell me one extraordinary thing that you've done in your life. The same kind of thing. It's the same. CEOs always are looking for unconventional knowledge and wisdom. Another thing I've learned serving so many CEOs, their business and their lives, they took it as a game. They have this childlike attitude. They really take it as a game. All is a game. And that helps us dramatically, big time. Number 3, excuse me. What happened here? I think I clicked on something I shouldn't have clicked. Just give me a second so that I find the screen. Just 1 second. Where is it? Should be here. Just 1 second. I was warned. My apologies that I had to do this, but I'm just recovering I probably clicked on somewhere that I didn't have to click. It's coming up fast. Just 1 second. Thank you very much for your patience. It's almost there. It's almost there. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So we see the first slide now. Let's wait until the other slides. Yes, exactly. Actually show up here. I'll let you know as soon as let me make sure I close everything else. Everything else is closed. So it is still. So. Okay, so what I'm gonna do. Okay, now it looks like it's charging. But again, I don't know really what happened here, but I was so super excited about what I was conveying with you. Hopefully, that was of use to you. So here we come. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to go to Plan B, which is going to go. Okay, so. I don't think, hold on. Let me stop sharing this. I'm gonna share it again. And I'm gonna share this other window. Okay, probably I will lose some functionality here, but I think it's obviously for the sake of the presentation, it's good. So let me go to where I was before. I have 3 monitors here. Again, my apologies. Just 1 second. So I had an offline copy of what I was presenting. Okay, so gratitude. Looking at my 3rd monitor here. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Thank you. Again, my apologies. Thank you very much to everyone for your patience. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so according to my experience, what are the top 3 EO blind spots? Because I think that there's a lot of wealth to be generated by all of us if we take into consideration those 3 blind spots that I have consistently seen. Let me tell you something. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I continuously serve my audience. I have about 28,000 connections. 82% of those are either C-level or vice president level of large corporations here in the US. this is what my experience has been according to my conversations and surveys with them. Number one, they want to keep their teams accountable, but in reality, their teams are not engaged. In reality, their teams are not engaged. That's the number one blind spot I continuously see. Obviously, the teams are important for them because they want to bridge the gap between what the shareholders' expectations are and what they really want to get accomplished in the company to get those shareholder expectations accomplished. Number two, they still do not know how to become conscious leaders, and that's why I was listening to Mike, what he was saying, and Dave. It's extremely important. I think that what's going right now in the world is a blessing for all of us for the last 14 to 16 months. Everybody, I think that the leaders that are going to be thriving right now are the ones who are going to become conscious leaders, but they really don't know how to do it. There's really not this many people out there that really knows what a conscious leader is. And I think that inside selling from your heart is really that aspect of consciousness that it really defines really the next level and the next what is going to be like the world of selling in the future. And the number three is they do not know how to upskill their workforce. That's a report I read the other day. It was published a couple of weeks ago. I don't remember if it was KPMG or it was Deloitte. They actually published a survey that they conducted with, I think it was 2,500 C-level executives. And the number one concern of C-levels right now is they do not know how to upskill the workforce with everything that has changed in the world. All right, how to consistently engage with CEOs. Those are my pieces of advice, okay? Those are, why will CEOs listen? Number one, understand the secret contract concept. The secret contract concept. I would like you to understand this. What does that mean? It means that all of us, with every single relationship we have with everybody, we have a set of expectations from that person. And at the same time, that other person that has a relationship with us, that person has a set of expectations that that person, he or she expects that we fulfill. When we go through life all day long, and obviously the sales environment is not an exception, all day long, having expectations from people about people, and people having expectations about us that we never, ever verbalize, we never put in our mouths, ever. Can you imagine how do you want to close deals with CEOs if you never really talk about this secret contract? You have this conversation. I know there's things you expect from us, but I would really make clear, I would like to know exactly, I would like to let you know what my expectations are, and I would like to know what your expectations are. This is called the secret contract. It's one of the most powerful tools I've ever used. Use it, okay? Use it in order to have the CEOs to listen, because typically this is something that doesn't happen very often. Number two, only talk about the ones. When I started with sales, from Medic, the I is identify pain. What does the customer need? What do they need? What are their pains, right? And you literally use those words when you talk to your clients. This is wrong, because you immediately put these people on a place of a scarcity. Immediately. I don't know how I have done this for years. Talk to the CEOs about their wants, not about their needs. What do they really want? And number three, do you know that you are already a liability? Do you know that at the very moment that you start talking to that person and they start considering investing in you, you are already a liability for them? Have you ever thought of the sales process like this? Because whenever they start, and throughout the sales process, they already have in mind, if we end up investing with Angel, guess what? We're going to increase our debt, right? We're going to increase our expenses or our investment, right? If it's the CapEx or whatever that is. But remember, since the very moment you show up to that meeting with that CEO, you are a liability to them until they are able to recover everything that they invested in you, your solutions, and your products. If you verbalize, if you are able to work on those three things, I think I'm 100% sure that you will attract to your life the CEOs that you want to work with. I always like to actually give specific, tips to the people, in the audiences when I talk to, when I'm invited to talk to, and I always like to share like what is my toolbox? What do I use specifically, like very precisely? What I could use? I will go very fast, but obviously I can share this with you after. So what are the tools that will help you to continuously reach your CEOs? Number one, that's why I started. This is why I started in the beginning. That's why I started in the beginning, asking you 3 questions about yourselves and learning to be yourselves. Go to this Philosophers Camp when I went. This amazing 100, again, I don't have any interest in that, okay? 100 acres in the Adirondacks that allow me to find myself. I don't remember having so many memories from my childhood as when I went there for this amazing place where I was able to write in 2019 my own mission statement, my declaration. Number 2, I'm just going to mention one piece of software. If I had to use one, I will only use one. This piece of software is Crystal. This piece of software analyzes the verbiage of the profile of a particular person on LinkedIn, and it proposes you, after analyzing using artificial intelligence, it proposes you it identifies the personality, the unique personality of that person, and it proposes you different options of what text, what copy could you use to actually communicate with them. So it's a software that helps you to communicate with the CEOs based on the unique personality. Number 3, as I said before, again, I don't have any interest with this. I would definitely ask you or suggest you to go and use the Muse headband to always tune into use Thriving Sales Zone. Elaborate your own secret contract. Make sure that you elaborate it, that it's very clear with what you expect from every single sales call. And last but not least, get a copy of this book. It's going to change your world. It's going to change your world. Levels of Energy. Excuse me, it's not by Levels of Energy, obviously, it's by Frederick Dodson. Frederick Dodson. I'm going to write it down here. Okay? It's Frederick Dodson is the name of the guy. I'm going to write it down here. Frederick Dodson. It's an amazing book that will show you more. Will immediately when you start reading it, you will identify so many different situations that you were involved in and you never understood really well. Why did those happen throughout your sales career? Amazing book. Levels of Energy by Frederick Dodson. Okay. Conclusions. Number 1, will you be that unstoppable divine force that will allow you to be in sync with the spiritual creation of the CEOs? I strongly believe that CEOs think that their companies are their spiritual creation, are their creation. There's something really, really deep between the CEO and their creation, which is their company. Will you be that unstoppable divine force that will be able to sync through gratitude with these CEOs when you engage with them? Number 2, will you be using gratitude enough to uplift their CEO's energy? Will you connect? Will you become that beacon and be able to uplift their CEO's energy? And number 3, once the gates are open, the gates of gratitude, and that flows, how will you empower the CEO's awareness? How will you tap into that childlike, game-like attitude of the CEOs? Okay? And that's basically it. So thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you very much to the audience who's listening to us today.
Angel, you're amazing, and it's like we always said behind the scenes, so everybody knows the show goes on. And Angel, the show goes on.
That's right.
I applaud you because I don't know what I would have done, but you're a true professional. But there's I just want to share a quick story. You're very welcome. I want to share a quick story with everyone as we wrap up. Is the things that Angel brings to the forefront, and it's been a blessing to get to know Angel. So thank you, Dave Sanderson, for the introduction to Angel. But he just recently came on the Insiders Group, and this was just last week. And he was talking about a lot of this. And as we tie in gratitude and appreciation, Daryl, I just want to make everyone aware that sometimes the way we think we're going to connect to an executive, and I'll leave that executive, it could be in a large corporation, mid-level, small, depending on the size of the markets you all call on. I promise you this, based on what Angel just said, the way you connect is not necessarily the way you think you connect. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about Angel, is connecting the unconnected. Imagine what it would be like to connect, or shall I say reconnect, to your executives, to your clients, to people you like to do business with, based on appreciation and gratitude. Huge stuff, Angel. Spot freaking on.
Thank you. Yes, and this couldn't be more, as Mike said, what's happening right now in the world, with so many people working, remote and everything, and so people feeling unconnected. Mm-hmm. It's so important to reconnect. It's so important. The sales leaders who are able to reconnect immediately with their teams, with their executives, with their clients immediately through gratitude, through appreciation. They're gonna be the leaders of the future. I mean, it's so clear.
Wow, Angel, what a gift of sharing all of this with us today. This has been incredible. This is a rewind episode. There are so many ideas and resources in all of this, and I just want to say on behalf of everyone here at the Challenge, thank you for your generosity in all you've shared with us today. You're such an encouragement and inspiration.
Thank you very much for having me, and obviously thank you for everybody who's been watching us today and will watch the recording afterwards.
Fantastic.
No, you're awesome. Thanks, Angel. Wow. You know what I love? I mean, there were so many great things in that, but I loved, like, I got to get one of the brainwave things. See, you being a techie nerd, I knew you're drooling all over that.
No, girl. Just that. Yes. And that, of course I'm drooling over that, Larry, but the reality that there's, a higher level of consciousness, and we're our best selves when we're grateful. We're at our peak when we're being grateful. And, it's interesting of all the different ways, we invest in ourselves. Maybe you work out, maybe you take vitamins, maybe you read books, all great things to do. But when it comes to actually showing up and being present and bringing your best self, nothing beats gratitude. And I've never seen a connection made so clearly like that. And just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. One of the pillar, and there was a lot, Daryl. If I'd encourage everyone, go back and rewind, because at the very end, Angel talked about this secret contract. Just digest this a little bit, because I promise you this, everybody, this immediately changes the conversation in how you connect with executives. Absolutely. I mean, there's so many good. It was like an MBA in a box for 30 minutes.
Hey, so I've got an idea for our challenge today as we wrap up. One of the things that Angel has said that I think is very profound is the moment somebody says yes to your proposal, they're immediately in a deficit. You're in a deficit with them, right? When they sign the agreement. So what are some things that you've done? And in the marketing world, we call that buyer's remorse, right? Immediately, we're all back at the office ringing the bell and celebrating and high-fiving. And now the client, the new client is gone. Did I make a good decision? Are they going to pull through, really deliver on this? So what can we do? What have you done? This is the challenge. Put a video in the LinkedIn group. I'll put the link here in the comments. If you're not a part yet, we'd love for you to join us. Put a video in there of a story that you've done to show gratitude after a transaction, after a sale, and how that has maybe helped overcome some of the buyer's remorse and that deficit that Angel talked about. Do you think that's a good idea, Larry?
Absolutely. Because it's real world stuff. It happens all the time.
All right. Well, hey, what a fantastic day today. We're looking forward to seeing everybody this evening at the VIP reception. And I got some good news. I'm just going to put the link to the VIP group in here. Because we just made a decision, an executive decision, while Angel was talking, that we're going to take all the proceeds from the VIP program for this challenge, and they are going to Dave Sanderson's charity. And he is swimming across the Hudson, as we learned, to commemorate 9/11, to also commemorate a really hard day for the Navy SEALs. It was 10 years ago in August. And we encourage you to give as well, but everyone that signed up for the VIP challenge will be taking the proceeds of that and giving to Dave Sanderson. What an incredible day today. Absolutely. What do we got tomorrow, Larry? It's the capstone. Tomorrow is National Client Appreciation Day.
Not only what, but here, Laura Brandeo is going to put a cap on a phenomenal week. Y'all are in for a treat with Laura. High energy, but she lives in the world of appreciation. She's going to bring this through the lens of a mortgage person. She runs a very successful mortgage company, and she is, I'm telling you this, I mean, some of you have already experienced Laura, but just brace yourselves for Laura Brandeo.
That's right. So bring your friends tomorrow. It's not too late to sign up. ClientAppreciationChallenge.com. When your friends and colleagues sign up, they'll get access to all the recordings from previously in the week as well. Thanks to our friends at BombBomb, and thank you to all of you for showing appreciation. We're thankful for you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
See.
Thank you for being a part of the 2021 Client Appreciation Challenge. Now it's time to take action. We challenge you to take what you learned today to show appreciation to your clients. As you do, let's cheer each other on. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.